This is Biafran National Television and Radio, Bntvr, Voice of the Rising Sun, the official broadcast station of the state of Biafra. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Rising Sun News. I'm your host, Pointer. Here are the headlines. Biafran youths rejects occupying Nigerian terrorist army recruitment. Address by Colonel UKPAI KALU on violent land tussles in the state of Biafra. The right to indigenous worship is important and will be upheld. Now, the details. The Biafran National Guard BNG Defense Headquarters, 2nd Division in Suka Province, State of Biafra, in a communique, has recorded another victory as the occupying Nigerian terrorist army has confirmed in a recent visit to defunct Abia State Governor Alex Chioma that youths of the defunct southeastern Nigeria have refused to be part of their ongoing recruitment exercise. The decision of the indigenous Biafran youth is described by the Defense Headquarters as the absolute rejection of the occupying government and terrorist armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As the Biafran Supreme Military Council of Administration (BSMCA), administrating the Biafran Provincial Government (BPG), Government of the State of Biafra, vows to strengthen peace, rebuild trust and security in recovered territories, and also nurture and advance Biafran military operational capabilities, so as to neutralize whatever mission to frustrate the full discussion, formal recognition and participation of the State of Biafra as the 194th member state of the United Nations (UN) and 56th nation of the African continent (AU), citing the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, Article 20 of 2, and Universal Declaration of Human Rights (UDHR), Article 15 of 1. Meanwhile, the Defense HQ salutes the efforts of Biafran soldiers documented in conflict zones for their bravery and patriotism in defense of territories of our homeland, the state of Biafra. Colonel UKPAI KALU, the Provincial Administrator of the National Provincial Capital (NPC), Day-to Elder, has rebuked the communal land tussle amongst neighboring communities in districts that makes up the National Provincial Capital, authorizing with immediate effect a full-scale investigation and persecution of those found culpable in the breakdown of order between the warring parties of Ndukwe community in Amasiri and Okporo in Oso Eda. The colonel revealed that gross ignorance and distortion of customs and traditions as the root cause of inter-community crisis, which should never lead to unwarranted bloodletting, violence, destruction and killings, blaming irresponsible leadership of both traditional rulers and youth groups. The Biafran Provincial Government (BPG), Government of the State of Biafra, have received a verified report/video of an occurrence in Acha ancient town of Isukwato District, National Provincial Capital, involving the traditional ruler, His Royal Majesty Augustine Irokazi Erum II of Acha, and traditional worshippers from the community, in which the traditional ruler is seen threatening to imprison indigenes of the community for performing their traditional practices, that is, Omenala. The Biafran government has cautioned against the intimidation, harassment of traditional worshippers, as their right to worship is important and guaranteed by the Biafran National Legal Bond and other international laws. That brings us to the conclusion of today's broadcast of the Rising Sun News from Biafran National Television and Radio, BNTVR. The headlines again. Biafran youth rejects occupying Nigerian terrorist army recruitment. Address by Colonel UKPAI KALU on violent land tussles in the state of Biafra. The right to indigenous worship is important and will be upheld. I'm your host, Pointer. Take care.